Hello and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleacher. This channel is all about planning, budgeting, paying off debt, and hopefully one day retiring early. So if those are topics that you are also interested in, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so it is time for my weekly check-in. Now, last week I wasn't able to bring my weekly check-in to you because I was sick. And I've talked about this so much that I feel like I should just stop talking about it. Okay, let's go. So let's take a quick look at last week first. The week that you missed, the week that I missed. Here it is. It doesn't look like we spent a lot, but we did end up going over budget in two categories. So we went over budget in food by $68.81, and we went over budget in miscellaneous by $25.29, bringing our total to $90.20, a negative $90.20. We had a positive from the first week, so when we add these together, we actually were only at negative $50.60. Okay, so let's take a look at this week. By the way, this is an Erin Condren academic planner. That's what I use for my budgeting. I like it because the way the weeks are set up, there's a spot for each day. I can write down my expenses for each day, and I really like that. So I already set all of this up just to save my voice. So I've already set everything up here. So what we need to do now is go into the monthly spread and add all of my variable expenses. My fixed expenses, my pinks and purples, which are my bills and debt, I set all that up at the beginning of the month. And then each week I go back and I add all my variable expenses. So my variable expenses would be food, miscellaneous, and gas. So let's do that right now. Okay, let's start with food. So I normally would have ordered groceries on Sunday and picked them up on Monday, but I was not able to do that because I was not able to drive for a few days. So on Monday, my son ran to the store and just picked up one thing I needed for $15. So there was $15 there. And then I was finally able, my oldest son, who's 18, he helped me. Okay. The reason why my husband can't get groceries is he can't drive. He was in a car accident a few years ago and he doesn't drive anymore. So I'm responsible for getting the groceries, but my teenage son helped me. So he helped me order groceries on the 15th, and then we picked them up on the 16th from Walmart. Now, something really weird happened. Like every once in a while when we get groceries from Walmart, they don't have like one or two items that we're looking for. Well, they didn't have $67 worth of items that we were looking for. And some of them were just staples like bread and eggs. So I ended up having to go to another store to pick up the items that Walmart didn't have. And unfortunately, I spent more than $60 there. We went way over on food this week. So we'll look at the breakdown of everything in just a second. Let's move on now to miscellaneous expenses. So on Monday, we had a miscellaneous expense for $20. I have some more expenses to put on Monday, but I'm out of room, so I'm going to just stick them here on Sunday. We had an Amazon order for $10. I went in, you'll notice this week that there's a lot of Amazon orders. So I went in and looked. I'm like, oh my goodness, did I spend all that money on my classroom? But it wasn't me. It was like little things here and there that my husband purchased, like headphones and things like that. Little things. So $10 at Amazon, and then that same day, $12 at Amazon. I think that one was actually me. That was a book for my classroom, a read aloud that I'm doing with my class. And then that same day, this is called Plan Book. I spent $15 on something called Plan Book. It's an online lesson planning book for teachers, and it's $15 annually, and it was just time for me to pay that again. So that was a teaching expense. Okay, then finally, after they finally figured out I did not have corona and they could confirm that, they finally got me diagnosed with what I really had and got me medication on the 17th, finally. I was so happy to finally get some medication. Okay, and then we had a couple other Amazon purchases. Again, not me. It was my husband this time. He's usually not a spender, so this is a little bit surprising. And then one more Amazon on the 18th. Oh my, how many Amazons were there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. That is unusual for us. Okay, so well, let's look at how this affects our budget. Okay, on this section, I like to use black for positive numbers and red for negative numbers. It just helps me keep track of everything. These are Papermate Flare Medium. People always ask what I'm using, so I try to remember to tell you guys. Okay, so let's start with the bills. By the way, I do all my pre-work on my worksheets that are available in my Etsy shop, LifeInEnvelopes, so I'm just going to set this off to the side here so I can see my numbers. Okay, so for bills, we budgeted $376. We spent $359, which means we ended with a positive of $17. Okay, for debt, we budgeted $30. And we spent $30, so that is a difference of $0. For food, we budgeted $195. By the way, we recently updated our budget, so you might notice some changes here, like it used to be $175. And I'm going to talk about that in my budget update this weekend. But our food budget is now $195. Unfortunately, we still went over. We ended up spending $259, which put us in the red. So that's a negative amount of $64. Okay, for miscellaneous, we really went over here with all the Amazon purchases this week. So there's $70. We spent $148. Whew. Wow. So that put us in the red by $78. Okay, for gas this week, this is another budgeting thing that I changed. I decided I'm only budgeting $30 every 2 weeks now. So I budgeted $0, I spent $0 for a total difference of $0. Okay, so all together, all of our expenses were budgeted at $671. We ended up spending, oh, wait, very important. I got a bonus check from work for a class I took this summer, so I got an extra $200 of income. So here, these are all negatives, but here, 200. Okay. Or how should I do that? Let me put it over here, actually. Okay, because I wasn't expecting that, but I got it. Oh, yeah, so it's a difference of positive 200. Okay. That makes sense. This is a new category. I usually don't have to worry about doing something like that. Okay, so this category here, let me grab a calculator. Okay, so, let me write down all that we spent, and then I'll take away what I earned. Okay, so we spent $793, so we were way over budget because our budget was $671. We spent $793, but we did get that $200 back from work, so I'm going to take $200 away from that. So $593. That $200 really helped us out this week. That was just a surprise, yeah. Okay, so we budgeted $671. We ended up with $593. So our difference was. Our difference then. So 217 minus 64 minus 78. So we ended with a positive of 75. But we had a negative last week of 50. One of the things I'm doing in budgeting now is I'm going to round up and estimate instead of doing change. And I'm always going to do it like at a disadvantage to us so that we'll be slowly building a little nest egg in our account. So if we were negative 50, I'm going to say we're negative 51. So 75 minus 51 is 24. So we are currently positive $24. Ooh, that $200 really helped us out this week. So like I said, we did make some budgeting changes, and I'm very, very excited about those. I'll be sharing all of that with you this Saturday. But one of them I wanted to show you right now is we are going to add an extra sinking fund called Extra Week, because I talked about this in previous videos how we occasionally have an extra week of groceries, but we don't have an extra week of income to pay for those groceries. And it happens like 4 or 5 times a year. So we now have a sinking fund for that. And I just did my sinking funds recently. We didn't put money into this envelope, but we should have, because we just decided we're going to start doing that. So I'm going to add $50 today. So 20, 40, 50. But look at this, you guys. Got this from the bank today. Look at this old bill. It was made in 1988. Doesn't it look fake? Like, I mean, this is what money looked like when I was growing up, but still, that's just, it looks fake to me. Okay, so I'm going to put that in my envelope, and I will add this envelope to our sinking funds. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all again next time. Bye, everyone.